After leaving The Little Mermaid, I wonder watching the original so close to this one ruined this experience. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing The Little Mermaid in 3D. Well, bam. So, what's this movie about? Pretty simple premise. Ariel wants to know what's above the water. What's above the water? And she sees Eric, and she's like, "Ooh, I like this Eric character." And then Ursula's like, "3 days, woman," and then you got to kiss him. But they do something different for this movie about that. But there you go. And at the very end, shenanigans ensues. So did I like this film? Is it a train wreck? No. But did I like it? 50-50. So I probably just ruined the review and the score I'm giving it right now. But let's just go through the aspects of this film, because this is one of the movies where I watch, like, okay, that's good. But I'm like, wait, that makes no sense. Why change that? Seriously, why change this? If you have an hour and 23-minute movie, I know you want to add some people's backstory and some of the songs, but sometimes it's not needed. Sometimes it's not needed when you take away some of the really awesome songs and you add songs that are like, what the hell are you doing? But 3D first, right? You came here because not a lot of people do 3D reviews. The 3D was surprisingly solid. There was good depth. I mean, out of the water, in the water. Depth was 100%, and it looked really, really good. Like, even coming out, I was like doing this. Sometimes that's a good test, right? When you're watching a 3D movie, kind of do like, okay, that's a good CG. Okay, yeah, it's really blurry if you don't have the 3D glasses. Or when you're on land, when Ariel and Eric were on a boat, I was like, let's just see. And I'm like, yeah, all right, that's some good 3D effects. So if you have a choice of seeing The Little Mermaid in 3D, and if you just don't want to watch this movie, I actually recommend searching for a 3D showing, because it really does show the depth, and it does make the CGI pop. Because when watching this, not in 3D, the CGI wasn't as good. So this is one of the movies where I think the CGI will look better in 3D as well. So then let's keep talking about the positives. I do think the songs were fine. I do think the overall story was fine. Melissa McCarthy, Halle Bailey, they do a fine job in the roles. She was Ariel, fine job. Melissa McCarthy was Ursula, fine job. Even all the other characters in the movie, fine job. And that's the problem with this movie. It tries to be so inclusive that it feels shallow. It just feels very shallow. So what do I mean by that? All right, let's kind of go with the differences they decide to do, and it just doesn't make sense. All right, so the whole kiss the girl. Do they need to change it? No. Like I said in the original one, there was nothing about being forceful. What they just decided to do to change it is, you know how when Ursula gives her the potion? Well, in here, they decided to make a little change to the potion, which I think was stupid. There is no need to change the potion, because if the whole point is she can't speak, that's the whole reason. She can't speak or sing to Eric to know it's her. So why add that one part of the potion? Like, it literally makes no sense. It does nothing to the story. It actually diminishes the story. It diminishes Ariel's character, because Ariel's character as a whole is her voice. And the only reason Eric knows her is for her voice. So when you add that extra thing, the potion in the movie, it really just is like you're giving less to Ariel, and it's just not as cool as what they're trying to do. Also, the songs themselves. Under the Sea doesn't pop as it was, because if you watch the original animation, you see all these different animals playing the instruments. Like, oh yeah, I'm playing the strings, I'm playing the percussion, I'm playing the horns. Here you don't have that. You just have these turtles walking on the floor. You're like, but what's that doing? They're pounding the sand? How's that percussion? This is like, I understand they're trying to be more realistic, especially with Flounder, which Disney has a problem with animals and live action remakes. The reason the cartoons work is because you need the cartoon characters to show emotion. When you have these realistic things, that's why The Lion King absolutely bombed and failed for people. You're like, how do I feel sorry for Simba where the face is the same for no dad, and I'm happy dad, I'm no dad, It's like one of those Skyrim memes that are like beep, 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 beep. So you're just like, yeah, whatever. Then I did make a mistake in the original Mermaid review talking about how Eric and the mom was black. All right, he was adopted. Okay, fine. That makes sense. Whatever. But what doesn't make sense is King Trident. I don't know Javier Bardem. I think he's from South America. I could be wrong because Antonio Banderas is from Spain. So I don't know the country of origin of Javier Bardem. I don't know. But let's talk about this. All of his daughters, he has like a black daughter, an Asian daughter, a white daughter, like an Indian daughter. And yeah, you could say, oh, but Asian and Indian are the same thing. Okay, fine. A Chinese daughter. There you go. King Trident's a man whore. He is literally a man whore. Like, how many wives does he have? How many marriages? Because I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. It just doesn't feel right. I mean, at least penguins, they try to keep the same mate. Yes, okay, fine. Under the sea, maybe because they're just promiscuous. It's like, oh, I'm going to do stuff to that mermaid and do stuff to that mermaid and do stuff to that mermaid. And I'm just like, damn, he gets around. He literally is like, I'm going to have so many queens. And it's like, oh, okay. Okay. You get around. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And at the very end of the movie, where the mermaids and people get along, it was just a random like, pachow! All the mermaids come out of the water, and the people are like, oh, hey, that's a mermaid. Fuck, there was no kid going like, God damn, that's a mermaid. A mermaid just came out of the water? What the fuck? Like, none of that at all. No kid was just like crying out of their freaking eyes. And speaking about kids, it's a 2-hour and 15-minute movie. I don't think the kids are going to enjoy this one. I think this was made for the adults. The kids are going to get antsy. There's nothing keeping the kids in the seats. And what I mean by that, when Ariel is on land, or when Eric has his own song, which his own song is like, I want to be a man kind of thing. And then randomly he's like on the, like walking down this walkway. And then the next jump cut, he's on the freaking like boat. I'm like, what just happened? Why with the jump cut? Also some CGI, when talking about that jump cut, doesn't work. There are some CGI elements where it's like, damn, what the fuck happened there? Sorry, this is a PG movie. I shouldn't have said that, but what happened there? And the very end of the movie, the same complaint I had with the original, where the climax just like went, bam, thank you, ma'am. Same thing happened with this one. It was like very, very like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's just way too much Act 2 stuff of like her singing in her head while she's just like staring into space. Didn't work for me. The new songs didn't work. The Awkwafina rap song didn't work. You got rid of a really, really good song with the chef versus Sebastian. That doesn't work. So the more I think about this movie, the more I'm just like, you made so many changes that didn't need to happen. I mean, the voice acting was fine. The acting was fine. The movie was just fine, though. But the more I think about it, I mean, yeah, it's watchable, but I shouldn't have watched the original, because if I didn't watch the original, gave it like years advance, like years of like, okay, that's a fine little movie. But when I'm literally just watching a 90% movie where it's crisp, it's clean, it's to the point, now I'm at a time where I'm like, that's added, that's bloated. Do I really need a song of her just staring into space singing? Do I really need them to go to a Caribbean market when everyone has a different accent? Do I really need this change to a potion? Do I really need a Scuttlebutt song? Do I really need gender swapping? Do I really need all this stuff happening? I'm going, no, I didn't. But then I go thinking, is it an atrocious movie? No. Are the song? No, because when they are singing, maybe the heart of the songs are gone. And I think that's really good, because Under the Sea didn't hit. Part of Your World, yeah, there's some good stuff there. That's probably a good song. The only one I was like, yeah, I could mess with that song, but I'm going down the score, am I? I was disappointed. I was truly, truly disappointed. So The Little Mermaid will receive a 2 out of 5 of Futon, which he was at 40%. We'll see the critics' review scores gave this one. So yeah, the critics a 68% with the 201 of them. Audience score 95% with over 500. Here's critic consensus. With Halle Bailey making a major splash in the title role, Disney's live-action Little Mermaid ranks among the studio's most enjoyable reimaginings. All right, if I'm looking back at the reimaginings, I still haven't seen Lady and the Tramp. This is on the same level. If I had to watch this, though, or Peter Pan and Wendy, I would watch Little Mermaid hands down. Hands down, The Little Mermaid is way better than the Wendy movie. I would watch Cinderella before this. I would watch The Jungle Book before this. I haven't seen Lady and the Tramp. What other ones are there? Of course, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. I would rather watch the Beauty and the Beast one too over this, hands down. Beauty and the Beast one was way better than this. But whatever. I like to see what the negatives are, because are the negatives more of the 50 or are they more of the 40s? The Rottens, we have 2 out of 4, 50%. 2.5 out of 4, that's still a negative. That makes no sense. 40%, a 4 out of 10. 2.5 out of 4, 2.5 out of 5. So 50, 50, 40. So nothing looks like it's below a 40. Oh, we do have a 1 out of 5. Lazy remakes. Sebastian, 50. So most of the negatives are in the 40, 50 range. Nothing atrocious. So there you have it. So 68, 95, my 40. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if these Bhutan Topi Bhutans think watch a freaking fantastic day. I'll give watch this a week, month, year from now. Whatever. I love every single one of you. And seriously, if you can do 3D, I do recommend the 3D version if you decide to watch this.